Yes. So, whom should I make a co-host? Priyanka, you'll be able to share a text?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm making you co-host. मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. So hopefully today will be our last class on Moksh Marg Prakashak. And yesterday we were discussing the different kind of viewpoints from which the statements are being made and how we should understand it in the right perspective. So there was one example on medicines. Okay. So in fact, there are 4 examples on medicines. The first one was said that in the medical science, several medicines are described. One should know them, but he should take those medicines which might cure one's disease. In the second example, it was given that if you have got a fever from cold, you should take hot medicines. And if you have got a fever from hot medicines, you should take cold medicines. So similarly, acharyas also recommend us from where we are standing. Okay. If we are more inclined towards Nischay, he will give us preachings on conventional way. And if we are more inclined on conventional viewpoint, then he will preach us the real viewpoint. The third example was about that once your the ailment is cured, if you still continue to take medicines, then it will act in a reverse way. On the contrary, you will catch the disease. Okay. And the fourth one today we will be studying about. So we left on page number 428. 428. Second paragraph. Further, for example, from there. Jinali, you can start reading if you have the textbook with you.
Yes, sir. Further, for example, sir, from there only, right?
Yes, yes.
Hello. Yes, sir. Further from, for example, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Further, for example, religious practices like pratikamana, etc., are advised for eradicating sin. But if even after self realization, one indulges in the thoughts of pratikamana, etc., then it would rather increase perversity. From this very point of view, pratikamana, etc., have been stated to be poison in Samaisara. Further, the religious activities like the glorification, etc., are advised to be followed by a vowless person. If even on becoming a votary, one indulges in these activities, then he would assuredly get bondage of vicious karmas only. How is it justifiable for a votary to become controller of the activities like managing temple, etc., after giving up activities like business, etc.? Similarly, one should know elsewhere also. Further, the medicines like elixir, etc., are invigorating, but if a person suffering from fever takes them, then great harm would be caused. Similarly, practice of high religion is very beneficial, but if without the removal of one's passion passionate dispositions, one adopts such high religious practices, then it would cause great harm only. For example, if one has not freed himself from inauspicious passions and adopts rambless state of upyoga, then it would rather increase his passions. Further, if a person who is engrossed in sensual pleasures like taking food, etc., adopts religious practices like renunciation of worldly occupations and possessions, etc., then it would rather cause harm only. Further, if one has not renounced the perverse activities like indulgence in business, etc., and adopts religion in sanctimonious form of renunciation, then great harm would be caused to him. Similarly, one should know elsewhere also. Likewise, after true deliberation and understanding the true sense of the preachings, one should adopt the same. Enough details have been considered so far. In fact, on evolution of right knowledge, one himself perceives the right sense of preachings. The sermons, preachings are in the form of words, and through words, several meanings cannot be explained simultaneously. Therefore, the preachings are generally given with the prominence of one meaning only.
Stop. So in the first example about pratikaman. Okay, pratikaman is a repentance. Now, religious practices like pratikaman, then etc. means pratikaman, alochana, and pratyakhan. These are the three kinds of conventional auspicious activities that Shravak undergoes, So these are advice for eradicating sin. But if even after self-realization, okay, after self-experience, one indulges in the thoughts of pratikaman. So here pratikaman means the conventional pratikaman. The real pratikaman would be to experience yourself. Okay. So real pratikaman, real alochana, and real pratyakhan. Pratyakhan is renunciation, and alochana is uh, to see from all angles. Okay. So all these activities from the real point of view are the stage of self-realization, the stage of experience. Okay. But conventionally, these are some of the rituals that Shravak undergoes every day. Okay. So that's why in Samaisar, this Pratikaman is stated to be poison. Now, why it is stated to be poison? Because that pratikaman is an only auspicious activity and nothing more. If it would be a real pratikaman, then it would have been passionless religion. But here it is considered to be an auspicious one. So when you are already in the state of self-realization, at that point, even the uh, auspicious thoughts are also not advised. So that's why it is called poison. Further, the religious activities like the glorification, etc. So here glorification means propagation of Jainism, Prabhavana, by organizing seminars, by constructing temple. All these are the activities of a woeless person. Okay. So it is fit for woeless person to indulge in such activities. But even on becoming a votary means a person with woes, like fifth stage, fifth stage of spiritual development, persons in fifth stage of development. So if even on becoming a votary, or that is fifth stage, or a monk, monk or arjika, one indulges in these activities. Which activities? Again, those constructing temple, organizing seminars and all. Then he would assuredly get bondage of vicious karmas, auspicious karmas, sinful karmas only. How is it justifiable for a votary to become controller of the activities like managing temple, etc., after giving up activities like business, etc.? So similar one should know elsewhere also. So what is fit for a woeless person? is of course not fit for a person with woes. Okay, so one has to understand his own situation where he is in the present and accordingly adapt activities which are appropriate to his stages. The fourth example in case of medicines. Further, the medicines like elixir. Elixir is, I thought it is Amrit. Then I was wondering why it is given here. So elixir has got other meaning also, and it is called a healing potion. Okay. So further, the medicines like elixir, a healing potion, etc., are invigorating. Invigorating means rejuvenating, energizing. But if a person suffering from fever takes them, then great harm would be caused. So for a normal person, it is good. But for a person who is having fever, it's going to create great harm, because to digest that kind of medicines, the strength is not there. So on the contrary, he will do great harm of his health. Similarly, practice of high religion is very beneficial. But if without the removal of one's passional disposition, one adopts such high religious practice, then it would cause great harm only. For again example, one who has not freed himself from inauspicious passions, okay, inauspicious activities, and adopts rambleless state of upyog. What is this rambleless state of upyog? Nirvikalp anubhuti. Okay. If he adopts that, then it would rather increase his passions, because still he is not freed himself from inauspicious sentiments. So from inauspicious, you have to come to auspicious. And from auspicious, you can go to the rambleless state of upyog, nirvikalp anubhuti. You cannot go directly from inauspicious to pure sentiment. Okay, that is a rule. So first you get into auspicious passions. Auspicious passions means mild passion, and inauspicious passions means intense passion. So from intense passion you come to mild passion, and from mild passion you have a chance to go into the pure sentiment, shuddhopyog. Okay, that is the sequence. Further, if a person who is engrossed in sensual pleasures like taking food, etc., adopts religious practices like renunciation of worldly occupation and possessions. Okay, so he's still indulging in sensual pleasures, and if he's renouncing this, then it would rather cause harm only. So it all depends on the stage where you are. You have to be very sensible in adapting or taking any kinds of woes. Okay, if you get emotional and take woes, then you will not able to sustain it. Okay, then on the contrary, the passions will increase, and that was not the purpose. Okay, further, if one has not renounced the perverse activities like indulgence in business, etc., and adopts religious in sanctimonious form of renunciation. Now, what is this sanctimonious form of renunciation? You know, the Dongi Baba, hypocritical, okay, false guru, then great harm would be caused to him. Similarly, one should know elsewhere. So the end conclusion is, depending on the internal purity that you have manifested, accordingly you have to adopt best practices. If the internal purity is not there, and if you adopt best practices according to a monk, you will definitely increase your passion. Okay, so and that was not the purpose. Likewise, after true deliberation and understanding the true sense of the preachings, one should adopt the same. Enough details have been considered so far. So we have considered many examples, and everywhere the message was that you create a balance in your life. Okay, don't get emotional and don't indulge in activities which is not possible at those stages. Okay, you adopt those activities which are possible, where you keep on progressing. where your enthusiasm keeps on increasing, then only it is justified. Otherwise, it is all not justified. On the contrary, you are going to increase passions. The sermons preachings are in the form of words, and through words, several meanings cannot be explained simultaneously. So word has got limitations, okay? You can explain one perspective at one at a time. You cannot say all the perspectives simultaneously, okay? Therefore, the preachings are generally given with the prominence of one meaning only. Up to this, we have covered. Now, the next. Rajeshri ji, you read.
Sorry, sir, I joined late. Which book is it?
This is Moksha Mart Prakashak, page number 429.
429. Which chapter, sir?
8th.
Okay.
Further, where whatever particular meaning is described, there the prominence is that of the particular meaning only. If someone gives prominence to its second aspect meaning, then both aspects of the preachings will not be grasped firmly. Hence, in the preaching, one should emphasize firmly one aspect. But the emblem of the whole of the Jain scripture is Sayyadvad, and the meaning of the word Sayyad is Katanchit, partially true from a particular point of view. Therefore, whatever sermon is received, it should not be taken to be the whole truth. After knowing the sense of preaching, one should ponder over as to how is this sermon, what is its purpose, and to which jeev is it useful. With such deliberation, one should accept its true meaning. Afterwards, one should analyze his present state in the manner in which the sermon seems to be useful to oneself. One should accept it in the same form, and if the sermon is worth knowing only, then he should know correctly. In this way, one should get benefited from the preachings. Question: what should a person with ordinary intelligence who is not able to ponder so much do? Answer: for example, a businessman should engage himself in smaller or greater measure in that business which he understands according to his wisdom. But he must necessarily possess the knowledge of profit and loss. Similarly, a judicious person should accept that sermon in smaller or greater measure, which he understands according to his wisdom. But one must have such knowledge as to what is beneficial to him and what is not beneficial to him. The real purpose is to mitigate attachment, etc., by attaining true belief and knowledge. Therefore, one should accept the purpose of that preaching only if it fulfills his such purpose. Even if he does not possess detailed knowledge, he should at least not forget his purpose. So much caution is extremely necessary. It is not desirable to understand the meaning of the preachings in such a form which may hurt the self-benefaction. In this way, studying the Jain Shastras with the outlook of Sayyadvat, the benefaction of the self takes place.
Stop. So you see, in Jainism, all the statements are made according to Syadvad. What is this Syadvad? Syadvad means Katanchit. Katanchit means partially true. Okay. It is not absolutely true. It's partially true. Okay. Partially true from a particular point of view. So whenever some description is being made from the prominence of a particular aspect, only that aspect should be highlighted. Then if you highlight another aspect which is not prominent, then uh, the the audience would not be able to grasp the inherent message from the preachings. Okay, so one should emphasize firmly one aspect at a time. Okay, so the whole Jinwani is written in Syadvat form from a particular perspective. Therefore, whatever sermon is received, it should not be taken to be the whole truth or absolute truth. After knowing the sense of preaching, one should ponder over as to how is this sermon. Now this pondering is very, very important. People do read, but not many would indulge in pondering, thinking, contemplating. Contemplating is so important that without contemplating, you are not able to come at a conclusion. Okay. So to come at a conclusion, to come at a decision, you have to time and again contemplate, ponder, think, all these are very, very useful once you have read the scriptures. Okay. So I always I always recommend to read the scriptures on your own, so that you can stop at a particular point where you find it very interesting, where you have the scope of going further deep in that. Okay. Instead of expanding, you go further deep where you are reading from, and that will bring a level of satisfaction in your understanding, and that is going to set a stage for you where you are able to take the correct decisions. So it is very important that after reading, you contemplate on it. Okay. So how is this sermon? What is its purpose? One more step you can go further, and to which jiva it is useful. Okay. And one more step that I was thinking of is that you get into the minds of the writer, the acharyas, the scholars, what they had in mind when they were writing these words. If you are able to go that deep, then truly you will be able to extract the exact meaning which the acharyas or the scholars wanted to convey. With such deliberation, one should accept its true meaning. Okay. Afterwards, one should analyze his present state. That is also again very important. In the manner in which the sermon seems to be useful to oneself, one should accept it in the same form. And if sermon is worth knowing only, then he should know correctly. In this way, one should get benefited from the preachings. So you see a lot of responsibility on our part when we are reading the scriptures. It's not just reading it fast, fast, fast and going through. No, you have to stop and ponder. You have to stop and think. You have to stop and contemplate. And that's how you get the cross connections, the different perspectives, the uh, the intent of the acharyas. All this brings in a different, I would say, mileage altogether. Same words, same thing, and you are going deeper and deeper. So this is the uniqueness of Jinwani, and the emblem to identify Jinwani is Syad Vad. Every statement is made from a perspective. Whether it is being mentioned or not, you have to understand it, that certain statements are being made from certain perspective. Without perspective, there is no statement made in Jainism. Okay. Either it is explicitly mentioned, or if it is not mentioned, then you have to find it out for yourself. Now the next question, what a person with ordinary intelligence who is not able to ponder so much. Todramalji gave a very good example that if you are going a businessman, then you should at least know about profit and loss. If you don't have that much wisdom also and you keep on doing turnover without doing any profit, then it makes no sense in doing the business. Okay. Similarly, here the idea is to mitigate attachment, to reduce attachment, okay, by attaining true belief and knowledge. The moment you attain true belief, along with that, the first level of passions, the intense passion, which was the cause of bonding infinite karmas, that has gone with true belief. Okay. So the major chunk of the passion or the bondage has gone. Now, whatever the passions remaining and whatever corresponding bondage will happen, that is very negligible. Okay. So the first step would be to attain true belief by eradicating the delusion. Okay. Wrong faith, wrong understanding, wrong belief. That is the first step. And along with that, the major chunk of the passion goes off. Even if he does not possess detailed knowledge, he should at least not forget his purpose. Okay. So much caution is extreme necessary. It is not desirable to understand the meaning of the preaching in such a form which may hurt the self-benefaction. Okay. So if you are not understanding it correctly, instead of benefiting, you are on the contrary harming yourself, harming your path of liberation, harming your purity. Okay. So very serious thing, and this chapter is so important. There's nothing much to explain. You have to just read through, read again and again, again and again. And this is going to help you in a great way when you read any scriptures from any perspective, from any depicting any principle. You will be able to understand it in the right sense. Okay. In this way, studying the Jain scriptures with the outlook of Syadvad, the benefaction of the self takes place. Now, further reading, and Jinpriya, you read. Question, again question. Are you there, Jinpriya? Oh, yes, she has left. Okay, no problem. Subhaji, you read.
Yes, Jai Jinedraji. In this way, study question, where different viewpoints be possible, that the use of Syadvada is justified. But what should one do when, from one viewpoint only, mutual contradiction is perceived in the Shastras? For example, in Pratmani Yoga, it is stated that thousands of monks have attained liberation along with one Tirthankara, and Karnan Yoga, it is stated as a rule that 608 jivas, monks, attain liberation in a duration of 6 months and 8 samayas. Further, it is described in Pratmani Yoga that gods and goddesses are born in heaven together, and after death, they are born together in human state of existence. In Karnana Yoga, the age of God is stated in Sagaras, and that of these statements reconciled. Answer. The statements in Karnana Yoga are subtle and correct degree to degree, whereas in other Aniyogas, the statements are according to the relevant purpose. Hence, the statement of Karnana Yoga are true as they are, and in other Aniyogas, the statements are to be reconciled with the relevant purpose. Where it is stated that thousands of monks have attained liberation, moksha, along with one Tirthankara, it should be noted that so many have not attained liberation at one point of time, but should be understood that the place for the Tirthankara, omniscient Lord, stopped all activities of movement, etc., and became stationary. Along with him, many monks are present, and afterwards they attained liberation at different times. In this way, the apparent contradictions in Padmani Yoga and Karnana Yoga is removed. Further, the god and goddesses took birth together. Afterwards, the goddess died and obtained several rebirths. These, being purposeless, are not described. Afterwards, they again took birth together in human embodied form. By such reconciliation, the apparent contradiction is removed. Similarly, one should reconcile other statements. Question. Although reconciliation in such statements is possible in some ways, but at some place it is stated that Nemrinath Swami was born in Sauripur. And other place it is stated that he was born in Dwaravati. Further, the story of Ramachandra, etc., is found written differently at some places. The ones that beings are stated to be in Sasadana Gunasthana, and other places it is not written so. How can one reconcile such contradictory statements? Such contradictory statements are the results of bad times. In this era, the persons possessing direct, independent knowledge and persons highly versed in scriptural knowledge are not found, and the Shastras are being composed by the persons of ordinary intelligence. Due to lack of knowledge, some meaning might not have been understood truly by them. Therefore, it is written so. Or in this era, in Jaina faith too, passionate persons are found, and such persons might have written such statement due to some purpose. In this way, such statements are found. That is why in Jaina Shastras, contradiction seems to be existing. Wherever such contradictions are found, one should ascertain as to who is more authentic. The author makes this statement or the author making that statement. After such deliberation, one should treat the statement of great perceptors to be authentic. Further, many Shastras are found in Jaina faith. One should compare their tradition. Those statements which are in accordance with the said tradition should be treated as authentic. Even after such deliberation, if it is not possible to ascertain the truth untruth, then one should believe that whatever is reflected in omniscience is only authentic. Because without ascertainment of truth about Devas, omniscient Arihanta God, and Tattvas, etc., the path of liberation is not at all possible. In any case, such ascertainment is possible. Therefore, if someone states their nature contrarily, then one can himself perceive the truth. Further, if other statements cannot be ascertained, or there remains some doubt about them, or even their contrary knowledge is obtained, and yet such belief exists that whatever is known by omniscient is authentic, then there will be no impediment in the path of liberation.
Stop. So two examples. First one was about that thousands of monks have attained liberation with Tirthankar. So the Karnaniyog rule states that only 608 can get liberated in 6 months and 8 samay. Okay. So how can thousands can get liberated in a time of a Tirthankar? So that means that they didn't go to liberation within 6 months only. At different times, they have attained such. This is the total figure that is being given. It is not that in particular 6 months, 1000 has gone. Okay. The second example, that God and goddess are born in heaven together, and after death, they are born in the human state of existence together. So the fact is that in between, the goddesses have very less lifespan than the gods. Gods have lifespans in sagas. Now one saga is so big, and the goddesses' lifespan are in palyas. So during a time of one lifespan of God, there are infinite goddesses coming in contact with that God, and again dying, and newer are coming, like that. Okay. So in between, the goddesses have taken many births, but it was purposeless, so it is not described here, and it is just grossly being said that both of them born in heaven, and then both of them came into human life together. In between, the lives that goddesses attained, that has been discarded. So these are some of the style of depicting in Pratman Yoga. Okay. And Karnani Yoga always says subtle and correct degree to degree statements. So we cannot compare, we cannot have a comparison between Karnani Yoga and Pratman Yoga as such. We have to understand from which perspective it is being said, and accordingly, if we understand, there will be no contradiction. In fact, not a single statement in Jinvani is contradictory. Contradiction only we only think is as contradiction because we don't understand the perspectives. Okay. If we understand the perspective, there is no contradiction. Similarly, Neminath Swami was born in Sauripur, and at some place it is mentioned as Dwaravati. Okay. And similarly, in the story of Ramchandra, Somewhere it is written differently and somewhere it is differently. And if you read the Hindu Ramayana, it is entirely different. Okay, so Jain Ramayana is different. So these kind of differences always exist because the omniscients are not there anymore. Okay, in this era, the person possessing direct independent knowledge and persons highly versed in scriptural knowledge, Srut Jnani, are not found. Okay, and Shastras have been composed by the persons of ordinary intelligence. Although there was no intent to do such mistakes, but inadvertently it happens, there is a limitations to each person's individual capacity. So the intention was not bad, but somehow some mistakes have been done. Okay. So when such mistakes are, when such contradictory statements are found in Shastras, then what you should do? Those statements which are according to the um, preceptors, according to the great preceptors, that should be considered the truth. Okay. And those statements which are in accordance with the said tradition should be treated as authentic. And even after such deliberation, if it is not possible to ascertain the truth or untruth, then you should believe that whatever the omniscient has said, whatever is reflected in omniscient's knowledge is only authentic. Then also you are saved because you are not making a wrong statement, because whatever omniscience has known is always authentic. Okay, because he has no purpose, his all passions have been destroyed, so he never says anything false. Okay, and because of omniscient knowledge, he knows everything, so there is nothing hidden to him, so there is no purpose of telling lies or to making any distorted statement. Okay, so whatever is reflected in omniscience is authentic. That much will do, because without ascertainment of truth about devas. Now here devas means what? Devas etc. and tattvas etc. So devas etc. means Dev, Shastra, Guru, true God, true scriptures and true preceptor. And tattvas etc. means Jeev, Ajeev, Asrav, Bandh, Samvar, Nirjara, Moksha. Okay, soul, non-soul, then influx, stoppage, influx, bondage, stoppage of influx, dissociation of bondage, and liberation. These are the 7 fundamental elements. The path of liberation is not at all possible. Okay, so you have to ascertain the truth about the Dev Shastra Guru and the Tattvas. In any case, such ascertainment is possible. Therefore, if someone states their nature contrarily, then one can himself perceive the truth. Because these are, you can examine, the 7 fundamentals you can examine. It is not that you have to believe according to the omniscient. You can very well examine it and find the truth. Further, if other statements cannot be ascertained, or there remains some doubts about them, or even their contrary knowledge is obtained, yet such belief exists that whatever is known by omniscient is authentic, then there will be no impediment in the path of liberation. Okay, no problem in the path of liberation. Now, another question is coming up, and that will be probably the last question on this chapter. So, Sasikala ji, you read.
Question. As the different types of statements are found in Jina's religion, similarly in Shastras of other faiths also different contradictory statements are found. You have somehow clarified the contradictions found in statements of your faith, and you impute blemishes to such statements found in other faiths. This shows that you suffer from attachment aversion feeling. Answer. Though the statements may be of various types, yet if they foster one and the same purpose, then there is no fault. But if they foster one purpose at one place and other purpose at other place, then assuredly they are faulty. Now the one and only purpose of Jinnah's religion is of uprooting the rag, attachment, aversion, etc. passions. Therefore, at some places, the purpose of quitting intense attachment, etc., by indulgence in feeble attachment, etc., is supported. And at other places, the purpose of uprooting passions totally is fostered, but nowhere the purpose of increasing the attachments, etc., passions is found. Therefore, whole of the descriptions in Jinnah's religion is faultless. And in other faiths, at some places the description is found with the purpose of putting attachment, etc. And at other places, the description is found with the purpose of increasing attachment, etc. In the same manner, other descriptions also are found with the contradiction in purposes. Therefore, the descriptions of other non-Jaina faiths are faulty. In worldly affairs also, one who makes different statements with the view of fostering one purpose only is said to be authentic, and he who makes statements of fostering different purposes is said to be confused, insane person. Further, in Jinnah's religion, whatever different types of statements are found, or from different viewpoints, there is no fault. Whereas in other non-Jaina faiths, different statements are found with one viewpoint only, so are faulty. For example, the Jinadeva, omniscient God, possesses perfect passionless disposition and is also found having the majesty of Samasrana, etc. Here, there is no contradiction. The majesty of Samasrana, etc., is created by Indra, chief god. He, the Arihanta Deva, omniscient God, does not have any attachment, etc. in it. Therefore, both things are possible. In other non-Jaina faiths, the God is described to be mere observer and passionless, also under the lust, anger, etc. Disposition are stated to be his creations. So how is it possible for one and the same soul to have passionless disposition and the lust, anger, etc. passions? Similarly, one should know elsewhere also. Further, due to the bad times in Jinnah's religion, some statements are found contradictory from one viewpoint only. So this is a fault of ignorant persons, but not the fault of Jinnah's religion. Therefore, 2. The glory of Jinnah's religion is such that no one can write unauthentic statements. The birthplace of Lord Bhagavan Neminath Tirthankara is stated to be in Sauripur at one place and the Dwaravati in other place. So at whatever place he might have born, but taking a birth in a town is not an unauthentic because even today persons are born in towns. Continue or?
Last paragraph. Yeah, continue.
Further, in other non-Jaina faiths, the scriptures are stated to have been composed by persons having true knowledge like the omniscient, etc. But in them, the statements are found to be contradictory. At some places, the place they celebrate from childhood is prized. At the other place, it is stated that the benefication is not possible without the birth of son. So how can both statements be true? Such contradictory statements are found abundant there. Further, many unauthentic statements are found therein. For example, one such statement is semen fell in the mouth of a fish and it gave birth to a son. Such an event is not found associated with anyone in the present era, and by inference, also this is not possible. Such innumerable statements are found there. If in these cases it is inferred that these are faults of omniscience, then how could he make such mistakes? And contradictory statements cannot be believed. Therefore, it is concluded that faults lie in their faith. With such an ascertainment, one should follow the preachings found in Jinnah's religion only. Sir, 1 minute before that. before writing this, no, he might have gone through all the other religions. This one,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
why he
yes.
is able to put these words like
Yes,
this,
yes.
no?
He had done
Definitely.
lot of put in efforts
Yeah.
in reading other faith scriptures. In
Yeah.
this scripture only, in this book only, you see the 5th chapter.
Yeah.
There
Sorry.
is a detailed description given of all the other religions, and he found out the faults where the contradictions are there. Okay. And that's why he is able to comment in such a commendable manner, you know. So the question was uh, about the Jina faith and the other faiths. You know, the question was that in other faiths you are telling that they are doing contradictory statement, and in Jina you are saying that there are no contradictory statement. This shows that you suffer from attachment and aversion feeling. That was the question. Okay. So the first logic given was that in Jainism, whatever statements are there is no change in purpose. The purpose is only either you uproot the attachment completely or you reduce the attachment from intense to mild. Okay. But nowhere the fostering of passions is anywhere depicted. Okay. So the purpose doesn't change. Either we are uprooting the attachment completely or we are reducing, but nowhere we are increasing the attachments or passions anywhere. Okay. Therefore, the whole description in Jainism is faultless. And in other faiths, at some places, the description is found with the purpose of quitting attachment, and at other places the description is found with the purpose of increasing attachment. Okay. So there is a change in purpose. Okay. So when there is a change in purpose, then of course it is not the truth. Okay. There exists a contradiction in purposes. Therefore, whatever the other Jain faiths have advocated are they have flaws in them. In worldly affairs also, one who makes different statement with the view of fostering one purpose only is said to be authentic, and he who makes statements for fostering different purposes, okay, is said to be confused and insane person. Okay, very natural. Further, in Jain religion, whatever different statements are found, different types of statements are found, are from different viewpoints. The viewpoints are different. It is not that from the same viewpoint the soul is supposed to be supposed to be permanent, and from the same purpose, from the same viewpoint, the soul is said to be temporary. No, from the substance point of view, it is permanent, and from the modification point of view, it is momentary. So the viewpoint changes. Okay, there is no fault. Whereas in other Jaina, non-Jain faiths, different statements are found with one viewpoint only. Okay, for example, uh, the Jinendra Dev possesses perfect passionless disposition, and is also found having the majesty of Samasarana. Here there is no contradiction, because the majesty of Samosaran, etc. is created by Indra and not by Tirthankar himself. Okay. He, the Aryanta Deva, omniscient God, does not have any attachment in it. Okay. Therefore, both things are possible. Okay. Because you cannot have simultaneously attachment also and you manifest non-attachment also. You cannot have both contradictory at the same time. But here the 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 creation of Samosaran is done by Indras, a celestial being, and not by the Tirthankar himself. Okay. Tirthankar has no desire to do anything. Everything happens automatically depending on the destiny of the person who are there in the Samosaran. Okay. It happens automatically. And in non-Jain faiths, the god is described to be a mere observer and passionless also. And the lust, anger, etc. disposition are stated to be his creation. So both are contradictory. If he is passionless, how he can manifest anger? Because anger is quite opposite of passionless, right? So here the contradictions are there. So similarly, one should know elsewhere also. Further, due to bad times, now in this era, there is lot of difference of opinion. There are different sects in Jainism. Okay. Some statements are found contradictory from one viewpoint only. So this is the fault of ignorant person, because the person who has written, they were ignorant, but not the fault of Jina's religion, because the tradition has come from the omniscient, and if it has come from them, then there could not be any contradiction. There too, the glory of Jina's religion is such that no one can write unauthentic statement. Okay. Due to bad times, there are some person coming every now and then who who don't have a perfect knowledge, but they write on their own. Okay. But most of the time, the glory of Jina's religion is such that no one can write unauthentic statement. The birthplace of Lord Neminath Tirthankar is stated to be in Sauripur at one place and Dwaravati at other place. So there is no contradiction. So at whatever place he might have been born, but taking of birth in a town is not unauthentic, because even today persons are born in towns. Okay. So through common sense also we can make out, although the names differ, but it doesn't make a difference because the birth was taken in some town. Now the name may differ, but the place is not differing. Okay. Further, in other non-Jain faiths, their scriptures are stated to have been composed by persons having true knowledge like the omniscient, okay, etc. But in them, the statements are found to be contradictory. Okay. At some place, the celibate from childhood is praised. Okay. Bala Brahmachari is praised. At other place, it is stated that benefaction is not possible without the birth of son. Okay. So if the son has born to him, then he is not celibate from childhood. So both are contradictory. So how can both statements be true? Such contradictory statements are found abundant there, many places. Todarmalji himself had done a very deep study of all other religions, and he wrote this 5th chapter. And because of that only, the other faiths people instigated the king, and so the king took the action and gave him death sentence. He was crushed under an elephant, and the elephant was not ready to put the leg on Todarmalji. But Todarmalji said, you do your job. Such was his braveness, you can say. Okay. Further, many unethical statements are found therein. For example, one such statement is, salmon fell in the mouth of a fish and it gave birth to a son. Now, this is something unbelievable. Okay. This is not found anywhere. Okay. Such an event is not found associated with anyone in the present era. And by inference, inference means anuman, estimation. Also, this is not possible. Such innumerable statements are found there. There means in non-faith, non-Jainism. If in these cases it is inferred that these are faults of omniscient, then how could he make such mistakes? Okay. If he is omniscient, he cannot make such mistakes. And contradictory statements cannot be believed. Therefore, it is concluded that faults lie in their faith, in their belief. With such ascertainment, one should follow the preachings found in Jina's religion only. So this is the end of the discussions of all kinds of contradiction existing, appearing, not existing, appearing to a ignorant person, because he doesn't follow, he doesn't know the perspectives, one point. And the second point is he doesn't know the style of depiction of each exposition. Okay. So that's why the contradiction seems to be there. But in reality, when you go deep into it, you will find never a contradiction in Jainism. All statements are being made from some perspective. And if you understand that perspective, then you will be able to realize the true meaning. Okay, now the last paragraph of this chapter, the sequence of studying the Anuyogas. Okay, one thing you should remember, that all the four Anuyogs, all the four exposition leads you towards passionlessness, towards Vitrakta only. Okay, whichever exposition you adopt, the end result is it will take you towards Vitrakta only. Nowhere you will see that the passions or attachments has been increased. Okay. So that is the uniqueness of Jainism. Now, all the expositions leads to Vitrakta, then which Anuyog you should read first and then second and then third and fourth. What would be the sequence? That is very important because Todarmalji is here giving guidance that how you should read. Okay. So this is a very important question. Who will read? I have given this topic to somebody in the Gandhar Mulyankan. Everyone is preparing Gandhar Mulyankan, I suppose, right? The deadline is, I think, 22nd or 21st March. I think it is 21st March. Okay. So today is 12th. You have 8-9 days left. Okay. I don't want anyone to give me excuse at the last moment that such and such thing came up. You try right now only and finish it off. Okay. And share it in the, I think I told you to share it in the group, no? Yeah, so you can share it in the, I think Rajashree ji has already shared it. And I will be asking 3 questions of Viva on the topic that you are explaining. Okay. So 1 or 2 questions will be from the topic and one or 2 may be general questions. Okay. In total, I'll be asking you 3 questions. So just prepare that part which you have been given and don't worry. It will be all very general questions. Now the last topic, and Aditi, you only read.
One should study the Prathamanayog, etc. There is no such rule that the first one should study this Anuyog and then study that Anuyog. But keeping in view that the state of one's own thoughts and dispositions, one should study the same Anuyog which might encourage him to follow religion. Alternatively, one may study sometimes one Shastra and at other times some other Shastra. For example, in the journal, various transactions are entered at different places. By correct posting of these transactions in the account, one can ascertain the state of debits and credits. Similarly, in the Shastras, different types of sermons are found at different places. So, if in true knowledge one identifies it with the true purpose, then he may determine one's weal and woe. Therefore, those jivas who engross themselves in Jina's preachings through right knowledge and the relativity of Syat style of narration attain self-realization soon. In the path of liberation, first step is the knowledge of scriptures. Without knowledge of scripture, the religion cannot be practiced. Therefore, you too, the reader, should study scripture with unprejudiced understanding. Your benefaction is certain. The end. Dhuans in Mokshamarg Prakashan, though Dhuans in Mokshamarg Prakashak Shastra, the 8th chapter containing deliberation on the nature of the preachings. Thus ends. Thus ends in Mokshamarg Prakashak
So
Shastra.
which you should study first and which you study second, there is no rule. Okay. There is no rule. Depending on the situation where you are in. Supposing you are very tired in the evening and now you want to study. So if you study Dravyan Yoga, you won't be able to go very deep into it because you are already tired. So at that point of time, if you read Pratman Yoga, in Pratma Yoga, you don't have to apply so much of logic, it's just like a story. So it can suit you at that point of time. When you feel that you are very knowledgeable and you take pride in your knowledge, then you should read Karnan Yoga. Because in Karnan Yoga, you will find description according to the omniscient. And then you will realize, oh, my knowledge is so little. And I was considering myself to be very knowledgeable. Okay. So again, you will cool down to a normal situation. If you are having a feeling of overconfidence, okay, or if you feel that you are not able to follow some activities, religious activities as prescribed in Charnan Yoga, then you should read Charnan Yoga and understand the importance behind each activity. Because until and unless you don't know the benefits of each activity, you will not be able to indulge in it. Okay. So depending on your situations, you have to read. Each of the 4 exposition, the result is same. It takes you towards Vitrakta. So what you can do is you can adapt any of the Anuyog depending on your life situation and go ahead in the path of liberation. Okay. Then at certain point, you get a deadlock, you can't move further, then you switch on the exposition. From Pratman Yoga, you go to Karnan Yoga. From Karnan Yoga, you go towards Dravyan Yoga. This way you keep on changing and each exposition will take you in the direction of manifesting passionlessness. So you are still progressing. Okay. So there are some scriptures where there are description of all the 4 expositions. Okay. So different types of sermons are found at different places. So if in true knowledge one identifies it with true purpose, then he may determine one's will and woe. Will and woe is what? What is beneficial to him and what is not beneficial to him, and that's where he is able to take a decision. Therefore, those jivas who engross themselves in Jina's preaching through right knowledge with the relativity of Syat style of narration. This you should understand. Every statement in Jainism is from a perspective and that is called Syadvad. Syad means kisi apeksha se, from a certain viewpoint, and Vad means कहना. कहना means saying. So every statement made in Jinwani is from a particular point of view. Okay. And if you understand its interpretation, then you will soon attain self-realization. In the path of liberation, first step is the knowledge of scriptures. So knowledge of scriptures will only come when you read it thoroughly. And not only read it, contemplate on it. And not only contemplate on it, just arrive at the conclusion or the decision. Your effort is limited to that extent only. Beyond that, your effort does not go. Everything else happens automatically, like eradicating of delusion karma. Now, this karma is a matter substance. So, how can I do something in a matter substance? So, that will happen automatically because the karmas and the manifestations of our have a instrumental cause and effect relationship. Okay. So we manage what we can control and leave the uncontrollables to the destiny. Okay. So in terms of effort, you have to read the scriptures, and after reading the scriptures, you have to contemplate on it. And after contemplating, you have to arrive at a decision. That's all. Nothing beyond that. So in the path of liberation, first step is the knowledge of scriptures. Without knowledge of scripture, the religion cannot be practiced. Therefore, you too, the reader, should study scriptures with unprejudiced understanding. No inclination, not this side, not from the, not inclined towards conventional point of view, and not inclined to the real point of view. Not inclined to Dravyan Yoga, not inclined to Charnan Yoga, not inclined to Karnan Yoga, and not inclined to Pratman Yoga. You should have a balance of everything. And if you are able to strike a balance among all the 4 expositions, among the 2 viewpoints, then you have understood the preachings correctly. And if there is not a balance in your life, in the understanding of your life, then you will falter at some place or the other. You will carry doubts, okay? And you will not be able to enjoy your life. Your benefaction is certain if you understand the scriptures properly. Thus ends Moksha Marg Prakashak Shastra, the 8th chapter, containing deliberation on the nature of the preachings. Okay. So this is all we have. Next week we will be starting Tattva Sutra. I'm not certain which book we are going to follow. I'll just decide in a day or two, and I will send the PDF in the group. So those who want to take a printout can take a printout, and those who are accessing it through laptop or tab, you can carry on that way. Okay. So give me 1 or 2 days time. I will finalize it and then I will let you know. In meantime, you have to prepare for the Gandhar Mulyankan, and it is not Gandhar Mulyankan that you are preparing. You are also preparing for Viva. Okay. Because Viva questions are also going to come from that only. So 2 things are done. Now the assignment. Assignment of Moksha Marg Prakashak, concept clarity, paper 1. What is the homework, you know? Write any 10 statements from chapter 6 and chapter 8. You could write all the 10 statements from chapter 8. You could write all the statements from chapter 6. You could write 5 here, 5 there, whatever feel you like, you do it. Okay. You have to just write 10 sentences which you like the most. And out of those 10 sentences, you have to choose one and describe in 3-4 lines, not more than 3-4 lines. Why did you like the most? And of course, there will be a myth buster of half page. So your whole concept clarity paper 1 will finish in 1 page only. And to write 1 page, you will take at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes, not more than that. So this time your concept clarity is very easy. And from now on, 21 days, you have time for that. So today is, I think, 12th. Yeah, today is 12th. So 12 plus 21, 31, 32. So first of April is the last date. Okay. And since now it is fresh in your mind, just sit today, tomorrow itself and finish it off. You finish the Gandhar Mulyankan and I will be asking questions. We will fix up a suitable time for each individually. Okay. Throughout the day, anytime you feel comfortable, you can tell me. So Jayshree ji, you tell me which time you would be comfortable tomorrow,
Uh,
or you want to time for preparations?
no. I'm ready, sir. I
Okay.
studied yesterday.
Oh,
I'm
very good.
ready with it.
Yeah.
Mm,
So we will take only 10 minutes of yours. So just
yeah.
let me know what time you are okay.
I'll message you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Any time of the day, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the day now, what I will follow is the day you submit, okay, the Gandhar Mulyankan, the same day I will ask you the questions. Okay. So
Okay.
your everything is fresh in your mind. So it will not
Uh,
be a problem.
Sir, CC1 should be upload on your Gmail.
Yeah. You can send me through mail. And if
Yeah.
you are able to upload it on Moodle, it is fine. Otherwise, Gmail is fine for me. Okay.
Okay.
And this
And
time,
Sir,
sir,
one
I
doubt.
would,
yeah, the day you submit, the next day you have to call me to get the assessment of what you have written. We will discuss
okay.
one-to-one individually, but if you submit on time before the deadline, and you have to call me the next day itself. Okay. So we will do it nothing. If so many things gets pending at one time, no, and then I get the pressure, so I'm not able to justify the checkings, you know. And I really appreciate all your efforts, but this time we want to do it that way so that all the burdens doesn't come at one time, and in this way we'll be in touch with each other more frequently, right? So we are making.
Excuse me, Jay, if you don't mind, can we extend the CC little bit?
Why?
From April 1st, shall we do it on April 8th or April 15th, like that?
Why? Only 10 sentences you have to write. It takes.
I didn't finish GM it, so I have to finish that one, and then also I have to finish that
So
one.
you have enough time, no? This is 21st or 22nd March is the
Sorry to
deadline.
say, sir, I have some very important work is also going on.
No problem. So, like, see, this kind of request, you cannot put it in the class, you know. You have to call me individually and say, you know, we have to maintain a discipline in the class. And in exceptional cases, we always cooperate. There's no problem as such. Okay. So
Okay.
just be happy and try to do it one thing at a time. Don't be tensed about this. These are all very simple things. Okay. And if you are able to do it, it is fine. If you are not able to do it, then also it is fine. Okay. Don't worry.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one question. Should we stick to only 10 points, one page, or can we write before 5-6 pages?
No,
I will
you
tell
write.
you why I want to do that, because while writing assignment, more than the exam, I read and then I refer and then write. So it is like a book bank for me when I write. So
Okay.
are we going to do only one page, or can I still do
So you can do whatever you feel like. Okay. As far as the CC1 is concerned, you just write 10 statements. So while writing the statement, you have to prepare the whole syllabus, the 2 chapters. Then only you will be able to find the 10 lines, no? At least it should
understand,
appeal
but
you. It should appeal you, no? Why I'm
correct.
making it simple? Because many of times I have seen that people are not able to submit on time. Okay. So I have made it very simple this time. So let's begin it this way, and then on a personal basis, Chinpriya, you can do whatever you feel like. It's for your own benefit, right? So nobody is
Correct.
stopping you. And if you want, I will check it also. There is no problem in that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Because
And
assignments I am just
and I
filing,
will
so that it's
also,
very
I have
useful.
been checking your assignments every time, and all are very good. I can make out that you have done a lot of hard work, and your understanding is also very good. So I will check it. No problem.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
the
Thank
same thing for me. Excuse me, sir. Same thing for me also. As she said, no. While writing that this one, no.
So
Elaborate.
you do one thing. You write the 10 statements, one assignment, okay, CC1, and then whatever you write and send it to me. I will check it. No problem. Even if it is 20 pages, I don't mind.
No problem.
Okay. I like to read. Okay. And I like to know each other's perspectives also. I learn a lot of things from you, all papers of yours. Okay. So I really enjoy reading it. So you can write whatever you feel like. But as far as the assignments are concerned, concept clarity paper 1, you have to write 10 statements only. And one of the statements you have to explain in 3-4 lines. Okay. Why you like the most. Because these are some of the things that is going to registered in your mind forever. You know, if you work hard on something, it gets registered in your mind, and whatever is registered in your mind, you are retaining it. And when you are retention is there, then the recall is always there. You know, you keep on recalling it in your day-to-day life situations. So then it makes a very practical kind of study, you know. So it's good. Okay, so everything is clear. If you have any doubts, you can
About the question about the mark sheet.
huh.
So many times I think so it's gone up and down. Could we refer to Darshit ji, Aditi ji to just clarify?
Like objectives, you are talking about objectives or subjectives?
Shashikala ji had a problem.
Yeah, sir. Objective, sir. It is complete.
Objectives, you know, objectives is everything from the central management. Still you complain to Aditi ji. She will
She has
take up.
told me I will send it to the team today itself.
And one more thing, now we are in the 5th sem, okay? Whether you get 39 or 43, what difference does it make?
No, it is not that. It is not that Mark is going to be give me a job or like that. But he have worked for it. Why it is being recorded wrongly?
See, what has
I
happened,
have-
you know, I'll tell you one thing, very frank thing. This whole Parmagam honors course we don't have any employee. Not a single employee. Such a big institute is running. 2000 students are registered in it and they are studying. There are 38 batches going on. So much of activity and all are volunteers only. And they have their personal life. They have their professional life. And on part of that, this time the Moodle, there was so much problems
yeah,
of
See,
Moodle.
this
problem
time
was there.
Moodle was not working, sir, because
So they have a very
everything
horrid
upon us
time.
manual entry.
Yeah.
That is why this could have been a problem.
Yes.
I will put it to them.
No, yeah, I understand all these
So
things
for
are.
me, the examination is whenever a problem comes in your life and you are able to solve it with the help of the principles that you have learned here and you can be happy in those situations, then you are a winner.
Sir, it's
Otherwise,
not that.
if you are getting 50 out of 50, it doesn't
No,
make any sense.
yeah, sir,
So,
it's not
so
that.
don't get into it. My
Yeah.
request is don't get into it. Whether 39, whether 43, don't bother Aditi and don't bother that Dipti ji. She was having such a horrid time during the checking of these papers and Moodle problems and all. And she's also a student.
Because what happens, Sasikala ji, this time is the one very rare time that Moodle was not in place.
Yeah.
So for the first paper, some people did it online, some people did the
Yes.
first paper online. So if you see,
Okay, it's
let's see,
I
yeah,
can
let's say
take it, sir.
500, yeah, 100 students. I'm just saying 100 students, 3 papers. So somebody has manually entered 300, at least 300 to 600 marks manually.
Yeah.
So somebody else's marks have come to you. I totally agree.
Yeah, sir. Okay, it is as I said, I am destined to be like this in the trouble. Like and what I say, no, we that our last time we studied, no, Kramapada Padhyayam. It is in that in my destiny that Kramapada Padhyayam is there. I should be happy as per your statement. I should not get minus mark or 0 mark. That's the thing. Kramapada Padhyayam. For a practical application in
But you
my
know your
case,
marks. You have given the exams
forget it,
and
sir.
you got the marks at that point of time only, right? So you are aware of your marks, right?
No, MCQ I am happened. They upgraded.
No, all the marks you got it at the same time, no? The moment you submit the paper, you get the marks.
Yes. MCQ we are getting like that only.
So you know the marks that how much you got at that point of time.
No. I didn't know that why it is happened in the statement like that only. I know. I'm asking. I didn't say that. I didn't. Why this wrongly entered? And I was asking.
So there are
As
gross
she said,
mistakes happened.
as she
this
said,
time.
there may be some because the third question, no MCQ, they didn't enter only. The blank. If you see the sheet, no, it is blank. But I got 46 marks means won't I feel bad? You
So
think
you got 46 means they have given you full marks.
no,
it was blank.
Blank. So that is blank means full.
Sir,
blank.
she has got 46 marks, but they have entered 0.
No.
Acha.
Yes,
Yeah,
no
that's down.
no entry in the third
No
column,
entry
sir.
means, yeah, no entry means
With
no
zero,
marks were
sir.
given.
So that will be rectified. That will be rectified.
No, it is. I know. I'm very sorry to say. If it is that is the case, means I will take up with the admin only, sir. It is not that. How can I attended and scored it? They simply blank that it is there. You see the
So
sheet.
there is a genuine mistake over there. They will rectify it. Don't worry.
No, I'm not bothered about the rank or mark or neither. When you are having that one, it will degrade my interest. Why these people not everything
I
is
am
going on.
upgrading your interest. No, I am upgrading your interest.
No, sir, it is not that.
I am
It is
saying
like
that
only
marks
do
doesn't
something,
matter.
do something
So
like that.
I said if
I
two
lose
marks,
interest. I lose interest.
2 and 4 marks here and there doesn't matter. But if it's such a mistake that you have got 46 and you are getting 0, then definitely it will be done.
No, sir, I lose interest. What is there?
No. That will
there
be
is something.
rectified.
No, in my mind, no, there is something wrong in the system. I only believe like that.
I admit.
Definitely.
This time.
Not only marks, that they are not bothering. That's very casual. Okay, chalo, people are coming and admitting that like that, do like that. Like it is not that.
Aditi ji will convey your message to the management and management will take action. And if they don't take action, I will also
find your
request
marks
them.
and they will correct it.
Yeah.
It is some
Oh.
mistake. Somebody else's marks have come to you in the
Okay.
No
system.
problem.
You're
No,
thinking.
no, Aditi ji, I was shocked because the third column is blank only. कैसे
Correct,
ऐसे
you
हो
are correct.
सकते हैं मेरे
Somebody
को?
has forgotten to enter.
No
in the
problem.
night.
Yes, yes.
And what
No,
happens is, like same way, I'll tell you in when we did the Google paper, me also, when I did Google paper, or when I
Yeah.
did on Google Forms, by mistake, something clicked and my answer changed.
Okay.
oh,
Okay. So answer changed while I was scrolling up and down. So like that, maybe somebody did enter your marks, but while going up and down, it might have got deleted.
Yeah,
It is
maybe.
manual, no. Every time on Moodle, no, it is a
That's
system.
some.
This time this is manually
like that
entered.
it will happen? Is it so? Is it will happen like that?
No, it will not happen like that. They are working on correcting it.
Oh, I'll do that. Moodle
This is the
problem
first time. Remember, we always give our papers on Moodle. This time, suddenly, it was not working. And they wanted to finish the papers on time. So they gave you on Google Forms, and they had to next time, there will be a system that it will get automatically put. This time, somebody was manually putting the marks.
No, but for me, it displayed nicely.
No, for you it displayed. But after seeing your marks, somebody had to put it in the system. No. Your marks are on Google Form. You have to put it and enter in a notebook.
Yeah.
Excel file.
In
There,
that system, server.
so while entering, somebody has taken the effort to enter, but while entering, by mistake, delete must have happened, or by mistake, somebody else's mark would have happened. That's what I'm saying. This will not happen. A system like this cannot work, and they are aware of this. It is only that this time, because of time constraint, it happened in the middle of the exams.
Yes.
So they were also
but
under
rest
a lot
assured,
of
your
pressure.
will be done. Your correction will
Your
be done.
correction.
Sir, no problem, sir.
And
Leave
the good
it,
thing
sir.
is you already know your marks.
Aditi,
right?
already you have been in the
Yeah.
traveling and
The
you are
best thing is
exhausted.
you already know your
Leave
marks,
it.
and we trust our students. So once you have already given me your marks,
Yeah.
even if they don't find your mark sheet, they will manually enter the marks.
Yeah,
that-
manually enter. Yeah. I will also tell them. I will also.
Thank you, sir. No,
Okay.
it's I'm not troubling. Please, Michami Dukadam. I
No,
am
I
I'm
understand. I
troubling you.
understand.
And I
But
understand
I
your
felt
sentiment
very
when you
bad.
said that you
I
have
Yeah,
worked so hard
Sir,
and you
मेरे
have
को
not
थोड़ा I felt little bad, even though I'm very senior and अरे चलेगा इसमें कुछ नहीं है ऐसा नहीं छोड़ सकते. But
नहीं,
I
right.
worked for it. I took
Yeah,
2 days
definitely.
to answer that
These
paper.
kind of mistakes will always be rectified. I think 2 marks here and there doesn't make a difference. That was what I was conveying. Okay. But if such a big difference, then definitely it will be done.
That's why I spoke to Rashi only, because she will give